Welcome to this episode of the Simply Financial Podcast. I'm your host, Christopher Calandra, and I want to increase your financial IQ with today's discussion, which involves a simple money management tip. It's called the 50-30-20 budgeting outline. First off, let me say that here at the practice, Elliott Wealth Management Services, we try not to use the word budget. It is a loaded term, and for far too many people, it carries a negative connotation. I prefer to use the term spending plan. You're going to spend money. We want clients to spend money. It's healthy. We just want people to be purposeful and have a plan. Of course, being a certified financial planner, I want to have a spending plan. Again, we're interested in purposefulness, and spending plan seems a little less offensive than budget. But this 50-30-20, those are percentages. And the 50% refers to in your spending plan, in your budget, 50% of incoming monies would be for your needs, essential expenses, items such as rent, mortgage, utilities, insurance, minimum debt payments. Other examples include base grocery expenses, transportation. I want to put an asterisk next to transportation. Be realistic. I find that far too many Americans, especially ones that are trying to get ahead and build wealth, they fall in a trap of overbuying cars and borrowing lots of money, which gives them big monthly payments. So transportation is a need. But be realistic. You probably shouldn't have $1,000, $1,500 monthly car loan or lease payments, especially if you're trying to make headway. So 50% in this budget outline is allocated towards needs. The second component is 30% towards wants. These are non-essential but common spending items. I would put in that category things like dining out, entertainment, shopping. If you have hobbies, that would fall into the non-essential category, but things you'll often want to spend money on to live a fulfilling life. Subscriptions, like Netflix, as an example. Which, by the way, I came across this statistic recently. This is a bit off topic, but the estimate is that 80% of U.S. households subscribe to at least one video subscription. So I imagine that includes Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, Apple TV, Paramount Plus. There's probably others. Disney Plus is another one. I thought that was a terrific statistic, and it makes sense. We, in our household, at the Calandra household, we subscribe to many of these video subscriptions. So back on track, 30% wants. These are things that you're going to spend money on. They're not categorized as needs, but they're going to be categorized as things you often want to spend money on. So that's the 30%. The last component is to save and for debt reduction. I want to be clear that I'm a little different than conventional wisdom. Oftentimes, it is 20% towards saving and investing. I use the term wealth building. It's a little more broad because it brings in reduction of debt. If you think about your net worth statement, and we are big fans of clients keeping a net worth statement, is if you reduce debt, you are becoming wealthier. If you add to your assets, you're becoming wealthier. And it doesn't make sense to me for somebody to necessarily, and this is a generalization, every situation is different, is to be adding to your assets if you have a lot of debt, especially consumer debt that often carries high interest rates. In the case of credit cards, it could be 10, 15% or more. And I would question the wisdom of having credit card debt and then saving and investing money when you have credit card debt at 15, 18%. The math simply doesn't work towards getting together. So that 20%, some people would describe as saving and investing. We more broadly will call it wealth building, saving and debt reduction. Oftentimes, paying down debt at a faster rate than minimum payments is a very, very good technique to build wealth. Again, everybody's situation is different. Creating your own plan to build wealth is something that is important, and it is some of the best work we do here at Elliott Wealth Management Services, helping our clients achieve their goals faster and more efficiently than they might if they were doing it on their own. And so adding to assets complements reducing debt in terms of wealth building. So adding to assets, things like 401ks, IRAs, building an emergency fund, other investments, 20% of what income you bring into your house each week or month, if you could allocate that to building wealth, you will be in financially good shape for years and years to come. It may take a little while if you're starting from scratch, but if you were to do this consistently, you would build wealth and increase your financial security and likely attain your financial goals. So I'm glad I was able to share this simple money management tip with you. Thanks for listening today. Please subscribe to the podcast if you haven't done so already. I would appreciate that. And you could check out the work we do at Elliott Wealth Management Services by going to our website, elliottwealth.com. Thanks for listening today. I will be back with you on the next episode of the Simply Financial podcast very soon.
The views expressed are not necessarily the opinion of Osaic Wealth, Inc., and should not be construed directly or indirectly as an offer to buy or sell any securities mentioned herein. Investing is subject to risks, including loss of principal invested. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. No strategy can assure a profit nor protect against loss. Please note that individual situations can vary. Therefore, the information should be relied upon when coordinated with individual professional advice. Please note, the information being provided is strictly as a courtesy. When you link to any of the websites provided here, you are leaving this website. We make no representation as to the completeness or accuracy of information provided at these websites. Nor is the company liable for any direct or indirect technical or system issues or any consequences arising out of your access to or your use of third-party technologies, websites, information, and programs made available through this website. When you access one of these websites, you are leaving our website and assume total responsibility and risk for your use of the websites you are linking to. Securities and advisory services are offered through Osaic Wealth, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC. Insurance services offered through Elliott Wealth Management Services, LLC, not affiliated with Osaic Wealth, Inc.